For months, astronomers insisted 3I ATLAS was just another visitor from the dark. A fast-moving interstellar object, nothing more than a spectacular flyby. It would skim past Mars, steal a few headlines, and disappear forever into interstellar night. But space rarely does harmless without purpose. And now, new data from the James Webb Space Telescope has quietly overturned everything we were told. The numbers no longer match the predictions. The trajectory is no longer stable. And for the first time, scientists are admitting something they hoped they'd never have to say out loud. 3I ATLAS may be on a collision course with Mars. This isn't just about a comet. It's about control. When the object was first detected on July 1st, it looked ordinary by cosmic standards. A blurred point of light entering the solar system at extreme speed, nearly 87 kilometers per second relative to the Sun. Fast, but not impossible. What raised alarms wasn't how quickly it was moving, but how it behaved once it arrived. Natural objects don't do this. Instead of slowing or dispersing as solar radiation heated its surface, 3I ATLAS began to accelerate, subtly, steadily, measurably. Its path tightened. Tiny deviations appeared where none should exist. And its coma, the cloud of gas surrounding it, didn't fade. It brightened. Within weeks, it doubled in intensity. Spectral analysis revealed massive carbon dioxide outgassing and sharp ultraviolet spikes at levels never recorded in a comet. But the most disturbing detail wasn't the chemistry. It was the timing. Webb detected rhythmic pulses emerging from the object's tail. Not chaotic jets caused by uneven heating, but clean, repeatable emissions. Every 17 minutes. Perfectly spaced. Perfectly consistent. That's not erosion. That's thrust. As observatories across the world synchronized their tracking, Webb, Gemini South, and NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the revised models painted a much darker picture. What had once been a comfortable miss became an uncomfortably close pass. Less than 2 million kilometers from Mars. On a cosmic scale, that's nothing. Simulations showed that even a slight increase in velocity, just a fraction of what those gas pulses could provide, would be enough to push the object into a direct impact. And worse, the thrust vectors weren't random. They aligned precisely with Mars' orbital plane. 3I ATLAS wasn't drifting. It was adjusting. At this point, speculation stopped being confined to internet forums. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb and his team published a controversial paper suggesting the object may not be natural at all. Radar reflections from Mars orbiters and Earth-based antennas returned something unexpected: hard, metallic echoes instead of the diffuse signatures associated with ice and dust. Internal descriptions from NASA engineers called the reflections anomalous. Amateur astronomers added another puzzle: thin, green, needle-like beams captured in long-exposure images, converging toward Mars and pulsing in sync with the emissions. Piece by piece, the pattern formed. This wasn't just an object passing through. It was approaching with intent. If 3I ATLAS strikes Mars, the impact wouldn't be subtle. With an estimated mass of 10 billion tons and an impact velocity exceeding 50 kilometers per second, the energy release would dwarf the most powerful weapons ever built. A crater tens of kilometers wide. Debris thrown into orbit. Some of it potentially crossing paths with Earth years later. But the real damage wouldn't be physical. It would be scientific. Mars is saturated with active missions, rovers, orbiters, atmospheric probes, decades of data and experiments searching for signs of past or present life. An impact wouldn't just destroy hardware. It would contaminate the environment we've spent half a century trying to keep pristine. And contamination may be the point. As the object closed in, Webb conducted an ultra-deep spectral scan. Portions of the data were briefly classified. What leaked afterward sent shockwaves through astrobiology labs worldwide. Traces of complex polymers. Structures resembling carbon nanotubes. Molecular chains that do not naturally form in vacuum or under cometary heating. Even stranger were the isotopic ratios, carbon and hydrogen signatures unlike anything in our solar system. This wasn't debris. It was fabrication. NASA went quiet. Press briefings stopped. Telemetry feeds from Mars showed unexplained gaps. Questions about impact scenarios were redirected or ignored. Then a phrase appeared in a leaked internal transmission: impact protocol initiated. No one publicly explained what that meant. Around the same time, cryptographers at the SETI Institute tried something unconventional. They converted the object's trajectory, velocity shifts, and timing intervals into binary data. Then they ran standard compression algorithms used for deep space communication. What emerged wasn't noise. It was structure. Repeating numerical sequences. Atomic numbers. Carbon. Oxygen. Silicon. Iron. The building blocks of life and machines. Prime number countdowns embedded in the timing gaps. Recursive patterns that suggested intention, not chance. The possibility became unavoidable. The trajectory itself may be the message. As this realization spread, planetary scientists noticed something else. The projected descent corridor passed directly over Elysium Planitia, a region of Mars already considered anomalous. Beneath its surface lies a perfectly circular basin with no clear impact or volcanic origin. At its center, crystalline silicates with unusual refractive properties emit infrared pulses when struck by sunlight. It looks less like a crater and more like a receiver. Then came the shadow. Trailing behind 3I, Atlas at a fixed distance was something that wasn't mass, gas, or debris. It reflected no radar. Emitted no heat. But it absorbed light. A moving absence, maintaining perfect formation regardless of acceleration or gravity. Something was following it. Or something was being carried. As the approach window narrowed, seismic instruments on Mars began detecting activity. Xenon isotopes rose from beneath the crust near Cerberus fossae. Temperatures increased. Magnetometers recorded faint but structured pulses, again, every 17 minutes. Mars wasn't being surprised. It was responding. In the final days, infrared sensors beneath Olympus Mons detected harmonic vibrations originating deep below the volcano's base. Visualized as a spectrogram, the signal formed the same spiral pattern seen in the object's emissions. Object and planet were now synchronized. In the last usable data from Webb, scientists identified something chilling within the vapor trail. A structured, repeating molecular sequence similar to RNA. Not Earth-based. Not biological in the traditional sense. But organized for replication and response. Information, not cells. Life is code. As 3I, ATLAS aligned with Mars, Earth, and the Sun in a perfect straight line, an alignment mirrored in ancient monuments across our planet, the meaning shifted. This was no longer about impact. It was about completion. We thought we were watching a comet. What we were actually witnessing was a ritual. A performance written in gravity and time. Mars didn't react because it was threatened. It reacted because it remembered. And Earth? Earth noticed. 3I, ATLAS didn't come to destroy a planet. It came to be observed. To be recognized. To activate something that only works once someone is watching. So now the question isn't whether it will hit Mars. The question is this: was it ever meant to? Subscribe. Stay alert. Because whatever happens next won't look like an explosion. It'll look like understanding. And that might be far more dangerous.